Hello, this is Scott. So, continuing on with our series, I'm going to actually do the last Statistica component for a little while. We're going to pick up with R next time. So, last time we talked about, in S14, we talked about the sort and shift capability. This time we're going to talk about basically a recap of what we've been going through for data manipulation within Statistica, some of the things that you can do there. And then next time we're going to pick up with R again in RStudio, and we'll be talking about forecasting with decomposition, picking up from R13 if you've been following the series, or you want to search for that on YouTube. So this is going to be a highlight session. So essentially, the things that we've been talking about, let me grab, say, a data set. Oops. And this is one of the example data sets. So we've been going through a lot of different things that you can do within the data. You can click on the column. You can use long names to describe this column. The short column is displayed. You actually have an option which to display. We have the different types of variables that are brought in, and then we also have the different modeling types that we can use for our analysis. And then certainly the display format can be used as well. We saw that the AuSpecs will show an entire spreadsheet or entire data set at once, which is quite useful. So there's that. We also saw that underneath the data tab, there are a broad variety of things to check for the cleanliness of the data. So one thing that we talked about was the data health check node. To use the data health check node, remember you have to have a workspace. You cannot do it just from menus, whereas most of the other stuff that you can use. So the data health check node only becomes visible when I have a workspace open. So just remember that. And then I can drag the data health check node, and then I can hook things up like that. The capabilities exist individually to look at the variance redundancy. A lot of that appears under this filter recode. So if I have duplicate cases or if I have sparse data in variance, outliers, again, those are all available within, except for the duplicate cases. The sparse and variance, outliers, and redundancy capabilities are all bundled within the data health check node, but you can do these individually as well, including processing the missing data using k-nearest neighbor for missing data imputation, etc. All right. ETL, we talked about the time-based merging of data based on timestamps, where you have you may have some data that's in minutes and some that's in hours or days, and how you can merge all those together within the platform. We talked about stacking. We talked about unstacking. We talked about creating a transpose, as well as pivoting data through the stack and the unstack. So these are somewhat related. We talked about box-Cox transformations when you're dealing with heteroscedasticity or increasing variance or unequal variance across time, different uses for that, and different modeling. And then the standard way of looking at normalization of variables, where I'm simply creating z-scores, x minus mu over sigma, that's capable as well if you need to. And that's a good way of getting rid of scale problems or even values, extreme values, bringing them back into the norm. Recode, the ability to recode based upon different columns. So I can create a new variable that's based upon logic in other columns with the recode. Talked about rank. We did transforms, and we did rules builder. So we did all of those. We also did videos that it showed how you can create basically SQL-like statements. So concatenating variables, Cartesian or cross joins, matching cases, merging variables, and then even text labels. We talked about subsetting, individual subsets and subset by groups, as well as creating, defining random samples and testing. So, and a lot more. But the point being is I kind of wanted to just provide a recap of some of the things that we've covered. You'll find all of those videos in this S01, 02, 03 series. Well, in fact, let me show you something real quickly. So if I look at the video library, all of these are available, right? And they're available. The S is data science. So with a hands-on overview of SDS 00, Statistica, there's an overview there. Both of these are running close to 20 minutes, which is really longer than I want. But for an overview, it's fine. These are actually, I like these videos, so please check those out. Getting data into Statistica, the manipulation, all of these, this S series, this is Statistica, is the product. This one, fast predictor screening, is more of an industry theme, but is in Statistica. Then you can see that these are also, these right here are also Statistica. This one is more of an engineering than it is kind of the hands-on, so it's S70. Then the R series that are available for forecasting is all we've gotten into in R, but this is R in R Studio. Some Spotfire things here for HEDIS and as a process engineer to explore. So really we've got different platforms, different use cases, and then a bunch of tutorials. So hopefully you'll check those out. And I haven't even added the last 5. So we now have through S15, I believe, with this video. So please check those out. And as always, shoot me an email with suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.